Hello and welcome back, all of you beautiful souls. We are doing our October Tower reading. So, if you are a Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node, this is your video for the upcoming month. And if any of you are interested, I will be using the Every Little Thing You Do is Magic tarot deck. I just got this deck and I just love the symbolism. I love the artwork. And the deck as a whole is just phenomenal. I cannot recommend it more highly. So, with that said, let's see what October has in store for all of you Virgos. So that took no time. So we had the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands and the Eight of Cups all fly out at the exact same time. So it looks like we've got Wilbur with the Six of Wands, the Nine of Wands. I believe that's a badger, maybe, but I didn't know they climbed trees. And then Eight of Cups also flew out here. And then Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And the Empress under the Five of Wands. I'll determine if she wants to be included in this as I go. So lots of wands energy tells me that you are really trying to lean into your sense of presence in this upcoming month of October. You're trying to be more included in what you seek out, and also you're tapping into the sense of adventure. But the Five of Wands is typically a card of deceit. Say hi, Nelly Belly. Meow. The Five of Wands is typically a card of deceit and quarreling, and you can even see it on sorry for the interruption. You can even see it on this. It's like these five dogs are all trying to split one leash or one toy or whatever that may be. And although none of them are actually hurting each other in the process, there's still just this unnecessary quarreling where oftentimes there is never a lack of resources with this card. It's just that everybody wants the same thing. But the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands is all about celebration. So it's I'm being called to speak on the Eight of Cups now too. So it's almost as if you were feeling this sense of inner quarreling within you, where maybe your energy wanted to be split a bunch of different ways, but for whatever reason, you were just like, eventually you just snapped, you just broke. And that breaking led you to that Eight of Cups moment where you're like, this is not sustainable. I can't keep myself in this environment if it's external, or I can't keep my inside this like tense. There's a lot of tension going on in here. And again, it's not sustainable. So I need to tap into that Eight of Cups energy and bring myself back home. I need to get out of the depths of this murkiness and emerge up to the surface so I can then start to breathe again and not be so overwhelmed by my emotions, not be so overwhelmed by this quarreling that I'm feeling inside or again in my external environment. So I guess for some of you, this will be more internal, where others, it's quite literally going to be the people, maybe you're quarreling with the people around you. It could be coworkers, and you're recognizing that this environment isn't sustainable for you externally, or again, it could be internal as well. And you might just have to check yourself and make sure that you're leaning more towards the not bypassing the negative emotions, quotes, because I don't believe any emotions are actually negative. It's just lack of a better term. It's not bypassing, it's recognizing that I have been in this mopey, sulky way for far too long and I'm not making any progress. I'm not tapping into myself. And I really just need to get a grip on myself in order to actually be able to celebrate what the Wands offers, to be able to tap into that sense of adventure and curiosity for the world around me. And how can I do that? By helping myself come back out of my mind into my body and into the world again. The Nine of Wands also represents that sense of like, I've been fighting for way too long and I'm just exhausted. In the Rider Waite deck, it shows this man leaning on his staff and he's just like in the middle of a battlefield. There's still chaos ensuing around him, but he just can't take it anymore. So that's, I think, where you might be this upcoming October. You're recognizing the need to just step back from what is causing that sense of dread, that sense of like, I need to keep fighting, or that sense of why have I been fighting so long? It's definitely just like an inner battle, or again, it could be your external environment, but you are just done. You're done with it. So some of you may be changing like actually changing your environment, whether that is with your work or your where you live or your friendships. But I do think for a lot of you, this is going to be an internal thing. And as you come to recognize that and really lean into the energy of the Eight of Cups, where you're emerging back, you're coming home to yourself. Um, and you're trying your best to get out of your depths. Then you'll have the Six of Wands energy and the Empress, and I guess the Empress does want to come in here. And the Six of Wands first, you're going once you hit this Eight of Cups energy where you're like, I can't take this anymore, I need to start making my trip back to myself. Six of Wands is going to come up, and that's all about celebration. It's all about being able to recognize and be proud of yourself and grateful for the ways that you are showing up in the world. And it could also be external celebration. So maybe your loved ones are seeing you're getting yourself out of a situation that was not meant for you in the first place, and they're going to be celebrating you in that way. They could see that it's just you working on your mental health and becoming more of yourself than maybe you have been in a long time. So they're going to add to that celebration and that sense of gratitude for yourself and going to push you to keep moving towards that. And once you start to emerge back up to the surface, you'll have the Empress energy to tap into, which is creativity, it's fertility, it's really I love the otters of that one. It's really just coming back to yourself and being proud of who you are, but also being able to bring something that's going to help you continue down this path towards your betterment, bring that into fruition, bring it into tangible reality. So the Empress isn't just a creative energy, it's the ability to birth that creativity into existence, which is going to help you continue your trek back towards yourself. So it is a really beautiful energy here where you're recognizing I can't do this anymore. What I've been doing is not sustainable. So how can I tap more into this creativity, tap more into this goddess energy where I am having faith in myself and trusting myself and having a bit of optimism towards what I am creating. And it doesn't just have to be artistic pursuits either. Um, it can be like just any sort of like creative problem solving or just being more open to experience even and having a more creative mindset and understanding that okay, I'm going to allow myself to explore and let myself find what I'm looking for through trial and error. Especially for Virgos, you guys are used to being very diligent and very punctual and very detail oriented, where you don't allow yourself oftentimes that ability to try and fail and try again. Because a lot of times for Virgos, the idea of failure is a perceived failure on yourself rather than an opportunity to pivot and turn another direction. So I think this Empress energy is offering you another way to view yourself and how you move in the world, how you approach situations, how you approach people, how you approach yourself more than anything. And it's going to allow you to kind of shed that perfectionism. And I think that sense of perfectionism is what was causing that inner quarreling in the first place. And that's why it's not sustainable because perfection does not exist in this realm. And I know you guys don't like to hear it. It's not attainable. And your work ethic, Virgos, are usually leagues beyond what other people can accomplish in a year you can accomplish in 1 week. So I think it's time again that you really step back. Oh, I have chills. You really step back and recognize where you are trying to force yourself into this unrealistic perfectionist mold and let yourself be more loose. That's another way the Empress energy comes through is allowing ourselves to be that messy person, allowing ourselves to take risks and not take it personally when those risks don't work out for us and just recognize it as, okay, so maybe that wasn't for me. Let's continue to find what is for me. So I think it's a really beautiful energy and it'll be a great thing to tap into, Virgos. It'll be a great thing, not only just for the month of October, but to help you gain more wisdom and continue to grow in the months after that. Okay, and going along with that, you're getting all the cards for exhaustion, but luckily this card that just jumped out is reversed. So we had the Ten of Swords jump out, and then we have Temperance on the bottom of the deck. And I think these cards really complement each other well in terms of the energy that would be beneficial for you to tap into moving forward. And Temperance also pairs really well with the Empress here. Like to me, they're sisters, or I guess at the very minimum, they're cousins in the major arcana. But first, Ten of Swords reversed. So this one, I actually love that this deck still uses the pretty much the same symbolism as the Rider Waite because I can help explain it a little better. So when it's upright, these 10 swords are going into this poor little fawn's back, and this fawn is exhausted, it's beat down, and then the 10 swords are just kind of adding insult to injury at that point. But when it's reversed, the swords are seen, gravity is helping this, where the swords are falling out. So while you are still getting that rest that I think is well overdue, and that's also an emphasis of the 10 of swords, it's you didn't listen to yourself when you needed to rest, and now the universe is kind of forcing it onto you through, whatever means necessary. When it's reversed, gravity is helping you. The universe is helping you kind of take each pain out of your back without you really having to do anything but rest. So if you give yourself the opportunity to just take a moment and recharge and regroup and come back to yourself, the universe is going to offer you again without you even having to all you have to do is rest to receive the benefits of the universe helping you take the load off of your back. So I think that's going to be incredibly important, especially again when you're tapping into these energies of, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. How can I help myself get out of this situation? The answer is rest. The answer is rest. And that's how you're going to come back up to the surface too, is just letting your body do what it needs to do without your mind trying to take over. And Virgos, you guys are Mercurials, especially if you're a Virgo rising, you're ruled by Mercury. So even if you're not a Virgo rising, Virgo sun, Virgo moon, you guys are still very much heavily influenced by that mercurial energy. So it's a lot of in your head. It's a lot of mind. It's a lot of everything's going on up here. How can I bring what I see and hear and think in my brain into reality? But the truth is, when it comes to reconnecting with yourself and reclaiming your energy, you need to get out of your mind and into your body. And that's another reason why I think Virgos really push themselves farther beyond what, again, anybody else can achieve in a year, because they don't like to feel the discomfort of being in their body. Because so Virgos don't like to feel the discomfort of being in their body because oftentimes they have been in their mind for so long, they've ignored their body's signals for far too long. And I think that's why all of these cards denoting exhaustion and just not wanting to fight anymore, that's why they're coming out, because it's past time for you to get out of your head and tap into the wisdom of your body. And it's in your body that you will receive those subtle signals of which direction to go, how to do something that's going to best align with you. And that's where you're going to tap into this temperance energy. And the world was under temperance too. That's when you're going to tap into this temperance energy, which will eventually bring you everything that you're looking for without, again, you having to really try for it. It's not an action oriented thing. It's just you connecting to your body and following those subtle signals of how to go, which direction to go, how to get there, and how you can do it where you're not exhausting yourself in the process. But temperance also emphasizes that need to connect to the unseen realms, what's beyond our physical, what we can see, touch, taste, smell. Tap into the wisdom that's beyond, because Virgos, you guys are connected to the divine mother. You guys are connected to that spiritual wisdom at all times. Virgo card is also the high priestess, which is again the beginning of being able to tap into the boundless flow of spiritual energy within us. And with temperance, it's you can see it's the two cups. So one represents the physical, one represents the spiritual. And although they're not touching, they are intrinsically connected with each other. So this is an invitation. This is an invitation as you are resting to start to really dive into that unseen realm. And it doesn't just have to be the ethers or, where like the gods live or whatever that may be. It can also just be your unconscious mind. It's and I know I just said get out of your head, but your unconscious mind is a separate entity than your conscious mind. And our unconscious mind is where a lot of our past hurts, pains, trauma, sorrows, where a lot of those live and then get stored in the body. So the more you can connect to your physical body by stretching and movement and recognizing where those little kinks have been for far too long and doing the work to kind of move through those. And again, the best thing you can do for yourself in order to reconnect to yourself is connecting to your body by stretching, by allowing your body the length and everything it needs to oh my god, sorry guys, everything it needs to tap back into itself. And as you are stretching, as you are moving, as you're getting those kinks out, you're unlocking a piece of your subtle energy body that's been trapped there for too long and allowing it to burst back into the cosmos. And as you continue to allow it to burst back into the cosmos, you are then bringing that cosmic energy to you as well. It's like a call and response kind of thing where your body holds all the answers. So you need to get out of your mind, let the body do the work of you of connecting to your unconscious mind, which allows you to connect to that cosmic force of energy around you. And again, once you start to tap into that and start to dive into yourself once more, the world at the bottom of the deck, this is the final major arcana card, which denotes just celebration and completion and achievement of your goals. And in this case, I think your goals are just gonna it's gonna oh my gosh, it's going to be more leaning into how you can come back to yourself in a sacred, whole way, not leaning too heavily into your head any longer and allowing your body to send you the signals it needs, connect to your intuition and let it guide you towards this ultimate completion. And of course, with the tarot, it's never truly completion. It's the completion of one cycle. So I think October is going to be I don't even want to say this just the start. I think you're going to be maybe completing this cycle that you've been and this could tap into that plutonic energy with Pluto going back into Capricorn before going into Aquarius in November. Maybe it's Pluto's reversion back into Capricorn, Capricorn's earth sign. So you guys are trying. That's a harmonious aspect. Pluto going back into Capricorn is going to help you guys complete this cycle that maybe you've been feeling for the last 16 years since Pluto's been in Capricorn. Whatever it may be, it's helping you recognize all of the times you've just fought and fought and fought and fought and fought to no avail. And now you're tired and you're like, how can I use this exhaustion for the betterment of myself moving forward? And the first step is recognition and awareness of exhaustion and awareness of the fact that you've been doing too much for too long, and B, rest, recuperation, recovery. Those are going to be your two main focuses in the month of October. And as you're doing that, as I should say, after you allow your body to recover even just a little bit, start tapping into this creative spiritual energy that is abundantly available for you at all times. You can only tap into this if you're not in your head. You can only tap into this if you listened. So I don't know about you guys, but that felt like a sign. You can only tap into this if you allow yourself to take the veil down, to rip it down with force. But again, it's not action oriented force. It's just a forceful awareness of this is well beyond the time I need to do this. It's time to connect to my body. It's time to tap into myself once more. It's time to get out of my head and stop overthinking so much and just start to be more present. And again, we started with the three wands, which is all about being present in your environment and curious and open to experience. So I think that's the energy you really have to dive into October with. It's being open to the curiosity of what can come to you. And once you allow that, again, awareness, recuperation, creativity, spirituality, and then you can really have everything you desire. And even if all you desire right now is peace and calm, that's waiting for you. But you need to take care of yourself in order to obtain that peace, that calm that you're seeking. But it is available to you whenever you want it. It's just about you making the conscious decision to accept it for yourself. And that feels really complete, Virgos. And of course, this was a general reading, so some of it may have resonated, but maybe not all of it. If you do want a personalized reading, check out my Patreon and my website in the bio below. You can message me on Patreon and we can go from there, or you can book directly on my website if you are curious. But Virgos, October is going to be your month to come back to yourself, and I am so excited to see where it brings you. Remember, awareness, recuperation, creativity, connection. Those are your main points to be hitting this month of October. And stop trying to do everything. Let yourself just be and recognize how those cosmic energies come to you in that fashion. Take care of your body, take care of your soul, take care of your spirit, and take care of your mind because you guys really need it. And I say that with love. especially as a fellow Mercurial, I get it. Mm. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you so dearly. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, maybe subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you next time.